that right? She's the one who chose the subject. Why does such thing attract you? Why? Hey? Selena, why is the light going on and off? My car. Is the light on? Why? Sorry?
You did not switch your lights off.
Did you switch on the light? Why does the subject interest you? Why? Why does this subject interest you all? Why? Why?
Sometimes we get lost.
Sorry?
Sometimes we do get lost in direction. Can you at least try to answer that? Why don't you feel that you are yourself? Why? Is there occasions when you can at least give an example of something that happened to you all in your life where you feel that you are not yourself? Sorry? The sound of the rain is talking.
Can you give me an example? You see, in order for you to say that you want to be yourself, and you realize that sometimes you're not yourself, can you tell me an example of when you are not yourself? Somebody can jump in? Please jump in anytime. When do you feel that you're not yourself?
When I was instructed to do something that I'm not willing to do.
Such as?
On work.
Ah, I see. When someone instructs you to do something which you don't like, then you become somebody else to do the task. I see. Okay. I see a different view altogether. Is that right? Is that different view?
So it's quite a common reaction that a person would have. They're naturally not so happy. So when you still got to do it, true? So you put on a facade and do it.
But that's not you. You still are yourself. But you're not somebody.
No, when you do it, you do it happily, you do it wholeheartedly, there'll be that stretch. Otherwise, you just do it and just walk away, done. You won't give it your extra.
See, again, that's not yourself. That is yourself.
Yeah, so
that
when
is
you're not happy, you won't.
Sorry?
When you're not happy, you won't give it your.
But that is yourself. That is yourself. You are like that. That's why you do it. If you're a different person altogether,
Nothing bothers you. You just go ahead and do it.
You see, that's what it is you.
Doctor, can you give an example?
Huh?
Example.
She just gave an example.
Doing what?
See, what she said is like this. What she said is like that. Somebody asked me to do something. I don't like it. Therefore, I do it. But I hate it, I do it. Therefore, I am not the same person. But that's not true. You are that person. Because you don't want to do it, you hate it, you do it for the sake of doing it. That is you. There's no difference in that. That is you. But the fact that you recognize it itself is already something that you can do something about it. Because you, see, when somebody tells you something, you do it because you don't like it. Then you are another person. No, you're the same person. But the fact that you can recognize that I don't like to do that, yet I do it. Because you're paid a salary, you work for somebody, or it's your mother, father, that is you. Now that you need to change. That you must change. Your thinking must change. You understand what I'm saying? That thinking of yours must change. Well, I give one example here. I work for somebody. He occupies my time. Meaning, he took it. I give him 8 hours. Whatever he tells me to do, I must do. Of course, without injury to yourself, without harmfulness to other people. Okay, doing things that be beyond your values, all those things aside. But if you work for somebody, you give 8 hours. Whatever they tell you to do, you must do. But you cannot do the impossible. But you are yourself. That's why you must understand this. No? Very importantly, is that we're not two different characters, the same. Then you must ask yourself, why am I feeling this way to do this? Why? Why do I hate doing this? Why? Then you've got to find a way to overcome that. This is Bhajya. Because our mind, we collect a lot of data. From the time we were born, before we were born, we didn't collect data. The moment we were born, we're collecting data through our 5 senses now: eyes, ear, nose, mouth, touch, feeling, all that. You're absorbing that. That is the thing, which is not real, which is a perceived thing that you have interpreted inside your brain, is then distracting you from that person that you're one and the same. But let me quickly relate this. Let me very quickly relate to something very important, okay? Do you see life and time as 2 different entities or one entity? Is it 1 or 2 entities? If this is 1, okay, this is actually 1. Like that, your life is a human person. It's also 1. The moment you don't like to do something, it doesn't mean another person. It's just that in your perception, that's not something I don't want to do. Then you've got to reconcile that. Then yourself. But the meaning of this, be yourself, is very different from what your understanding is. But well, this is a very good subject to think about it. This is pretending to be somebody. We pretend, which we are not. It could be out of a feeling you saw. It could be the way you want people to see you. You want other people to understand you.
Is this to please others?
Yes, also. You want to please people. So this is what's all about. If you yourself, as a person, don't behave like yourself. You behave so that you begin to like me. I want you to like me. I want you to feel I'm a good person. I want you to perceive me as somebody different. I am what I am. But You see the difference, you guys see the difference? You understand the difference, huh? So when somebody tells you to do something, you don't want to do it, but you're going to do it. But that's something you must reconcile with yourself. Or accept it as something that's not behaving. This is important because I think the whole majority of the 7 over billion human beings, they all are not themselves. They pretend to be somebody else or something else. Suppose somebody tell them something, let's say, let's go out and eat, Lana. And you, please, okay, I go with you, Lana. You pretend. But actually, you don't like to go out. But you then tell the person, oh, sorry, I won't go out. But because I want to please you, then I bend backwards, move back, in a way to please you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah?
A lot of people do that.
All of us do that. All of us do that.
So I think we lose our own identity.
Sorry?
So we forget the real self.
Yes.
And then you can't turn it around.
Dr. Aga, if you be yourself, people might not like you.
Why not? See, the word is people might not like you is very important to you. So you behave like somebody pretending to be what you are not, see. Like here, you know it. Exactly. It's very good. Very, very good. We always pretend to do things to please others. So we are not ourselves.
Is that a good thing or not a good thing?
It's a bad thing. Then we call it nowadays in social science. Ask a psychologist to tell you, oh, social behavior requires you to do that. I have to be socially acceptable, but in fact, inside you burning. I don't want to do it. That's why marriages fail. Work fail. Many things fail.
Because sometimes in a family, right, like let's say the parents and the children, they want to go out for dinner. And then let's say one of the sons or one of the daughters suddenly, just throw a tantrum and say no.
Yes.
I think it's a quite a common thing.
It is common.
And then you go out, you're unhappy.
Yes.
And then at the table, you're not talking to anyone. You're playing with your phone. You're sitting down there and just maybe there, but really not there.
Me, I'm a good example of that. I hate to go out. I hate to go for any form of dinner. Okay? It has taken my family approximately 55 years to understand me. So now, I know. Okay, they go. It's okay. Because if I go there, I sit there like an idiot. I don't want you to do that. You force me, that's all I'll do. I'll sit down and be quiet. Say nothing. People look at me. Why the fellow left? Oh, nice. Mad now, okay. So now they go already. They go on their own. Right, very good. I'm happy. But that's me. You understand what I'm saying? Do what you want to do, and you must like what you do. And this is the key to this subject. You understand the difference, right? You understand that? What you're doing is not wrong. That's the correct thing to do. You work with somebody else, no, you do it. The thing is, you don't want to learn. That is an attitude problem. Nothing to do with yourself. It's your attitude that tells you, or your senses tell you, no, don't do that. Don't do that because I never learned. I want to do it. I got to learn. I don't want to do it. You force yourself to learn. You develop a new skill.
So I guess in an organization, you've been always been seen as somebody to be a team player, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't like to be in the team and you try to take yourself away and do what you think that, I'm not happy doing such things.
Okay. Team player is another thing, eh? Meaning that we are all agreed to do something. We first of all agree to do something together. But after accepting it, you want to do something different. That means you're going outside of what we agreed upon. If you disagree from the very beginning, say, no, I don't want. I don't want to do that. I pretend to like it, it's no good. You must say, sorry, I'm not involved in this. That's why so many young people get into drugs. So many young people get into smoking, drinking, doing things that are harmful to themselves. Because why? This is what they call a social pressure. But you don't want to be yourself, you want to be part of what they're doing. Problem. You understand the meaning or not? Okay, let's proceed on. This is a very famous thing. I don't know how many of you read his book. This is what Steve Jobs said. After he wrote about his dying days, the last things, he wanted to spend some time with his daughter, the first eldest daughter, of which he did not want to recognize that marriage. No? You are my daughter. No, because he had an affair with the girl and she became pregnant. No? He never did. When she came to look for him also, she didn't want to have anything to do. Later on in life, when he was sick and all that, he got this cancer of the pancreas, that's right. And then he was dying. There's no remission. After he changed his liver and all that, still he came back and all that. And he wrote this. After his daughter, he wrote this. He also wrote and said, all my wealth will not allow me to spend more time with you. But regrets, right? But my view is, was he himself? Or was he himself as Steve Jobs? Or was he pretending to be somebody else and therefore pushed himself to the extent that he created all these things and became a popular figure? Is that what he wanted? You can question that, isn't it? Isn't it? His legacy, his legacy may not be what it was all about. Okay, next, look at it, okay? That's why it is important that this statement is important, okay? And that is that, who am I? Do I really know myself or not? How many of you have sat down and really wrote pages and pages and pages of who you are? Have you ever done that? Have you done that? Have you done that? Now? Last time. Should you do that now also? Have you never done that? Yes, also, I'm sure you do. Stand up and be useful. Find out who you are. Okay? See, we are not ourselves. In your case, Celine, you're gone, you finished. For one son, you can't go back and say, I don't want the son.
That one was not a regret. That one was not a regret. That was achievement.
Just because he's went to university.
No, not that.
But you see, all of us, always, something happened to us, we accept it along the way. Then we say, this is my plan. This is what it is. But it's also important to recognize that not all of what we are is what we wanted to be. Very cheap, okay? That's why this. See this again. We want to be somebody. We want to have a mentor. We read a book, we want to be like that. We see a movie, we want to be like that. We see a friend, we want to be like that. We see a singer, you want to be like that. Huh? You want to be everybody else except yourself. Problem is, everybody is taken your place of you. You are left alone. You must say what you want. You yourself must recognize. But it's also true, that socially, you may not be the person people like to invite few people. They can tell story, can make a joke, make the whole thing very lively, talk his or her way out of it. You understand? But inside that, off. You will find very famous actors, like the fellow who committed himself, suicide, remember? The Joker.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. How many more do you know? Huh? Yes, correct. In fact, those people who are great singers, as an example, have committed suicide because they always pretended to be somebody else. And when reality hits them, yes, but that's probably what they do. They probably didn't want, like Steve Jobs, as an example. He launched the iPhone. It became a success. It is a success. You see, because he became successful, okay, because he wanted to drive this to another level, he didn't realize that he is the cause of his own death. He is the cause of his own disease. Because he's never himself. Because the true self of him came out after his illness, not even when the first surgery was done and the new liver was given to him. Even at that point in time, he was somebody else. It's the second time he came back again after 4 years. And then he knew. And he knew that nothing can save him. Then he became himself. He spent time with his daughter, with his children, with his wife, the second wife, trying to be nice to people.
Is it because he's chasing the wrong thing?
Sorry?
Is it because he's chasing the wrong thing?
Was he chasing the wrong thing? Actually, it's a very difficult question you ask me. I don't know. But he realized in his book, as you read in between the line, what he actually spoke and how they, he spoke and somebody edited it, changed it to make the reader feel differently, okay? It may not be his actual true self. The book you're reading is an expression given by a writer. The writer knows how to put it across nicely. But his true thing, the true recording. If you look at another great person, Michael Jackson, okay, who also committed suicide. Okay? The song that he first came on, and then it began to click. Okay, the man in the mirror was a reflection of himself. So like that, you can keep on talking about it. Again, if you look at it, okay? See? So this is also true. And this phrase, be yourself, started off, I think, ever since we all became human. Okay? The person who made it famous is a Greek philosopher. To thine own self be truthful. To thine own self be truthful. Don't be somebody else. We pretend to be somebody else, but inside us, we know who we are. Or at least have a rough idea of who we are. You cannot say that you don't know who you are. You know, except that you don't want to explore that. You probably you drop short. You drop short. Okay? See, again, I'm 78, going 79. A lot of people that I know of, okay? My first encounter, they don't like me. They never ever like me. And I know that for a fact. Okay? But this is not yesterday it happened. It happened when I was a little boy. I know the people around me, either they're afraid of me, they hate me because they cannot challenge me.
Can we just ignore that? Ignore that.
Okay. That attitude, somehow or other, because I had no father, no mother, nobody can guide me or what, I absorbed it. I never ever wanted to please anybody in my life. I never wanted to please. I was myself. It's when I got married, okay, I was forced to change. As you can see in the book. Then I was not myself. After she died, okay, I then became myself again. But from the very beginning, then this damn company, this bloody company, okay, I didn't want to have anything to do with this. This is too much for me. I thought, okay, maybe some way it'll be good for people to work with me, learn my whatever I know, and they can make use of it. Then it's a total flop. It is total flop. Everyone that worked with me, okay, they were somebody else. They did it for a few dollars. And when they had a few dollars, okay, then they behaved themselves. It's all this. This is also true. Okay, and I got stuck with this burden. You understand? So, then what do? You cope with it, you try to do whatever you can. So this is what it is, okay? Look at this again. See, the first thing, you can't be something if you don't accept yourself first. Who you are must be accepted by you. Whether somebody likes you, dislikes you, this, that, the other, that's who you are. But first you must accept yourself. Once you accept it, then things becomes easy. You see, like Celine saying, oh, my son, that is a gift. It's not. She accepted it. Okay? Of course, she wanted to get pregnant. Sure. That's why she got married. But she could not get pregnant. Okay? And then she discovered the reason why, and then she got pregnant. That was not, I want a child, It's just, everybody has a child after getting married. So let me have one. You, on the other hand, either forced by him or otherwise, you decide, no. You understand what I'm saying now? Perhaps there's no regrets. Okay? Take Sunita as an example, okay? You think she can't get married?
Of course she can.
Huh?
Of course she can.
Of course she can.
It's not that.
She's outside. See, of course. The thing is this, every one of us, in one way or another, regret over what we have done. We regret it. the fact that you accept it, move on like life, move on. It's my ambition to write a book or whatever that is. That is your ambition. That's not who you are. Perhaps you just want to do nothing. I don't know. See, that you must understand that. Then life becomes easy. That people tell, okay, what do I want to do? What I have to do. Friend, I don't have to do. You see now?
Oh,
Father, mother, brother, sister, all, hey, I don't have to do. Because somebody pays me a salary, okay, I do now. The best I can. Okay? Then it's your attitude, your emotions, and blah, 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 and a whole lot of things, okay? It's for you to think about it and see what else can be done, okay? Again, see here. Look at this now. Question that we ask ourselves is, how do I start to find myself? Okay? We used to have a program. Where's Rita? Why? Somebody died. Okay. We used to have a workshop before. We did it, huh?
Somebody's trying to find
Huh?
Somebody got lost. She's trying to get some direction.
Ah, okay. You know, we used to do a workshop long time ago. When I started to form this, and the people that worked with me at that time, you know, there were a lot of people working here at that time. I wanted to run this with them. Discover yourself before you discover others. Because in order for you to do what you want to do, which is to teach people about time management, life management, if you can't discover yourself, no point doing it. So you can see I'm the only one that's standing.
any example?
Huh?
Example.
Example of?
When you say discover yourself.
You see, you must know who you are. I cannot give you a little format, you know, like you make a teh tarik, you need tea, you need this, so many teaspoons to put, cannot. This is a discovery of your own self. You must be able to sit down all alone by yourself and find out who you are. There are no examples in this. Each one will discover himself in a very, very different way. Because if your circumstances in life, like if you ask me, can my children discover themselves? The answer is no. They won't. I got 2 sons and both of them won't. Will they ever discover themselves? They are showing you their front only. No. They have to discover themselves. Your question is, how do I discover that? How can I do? I have to pour you apart, cut you up, pieces by pieces, your mind, you know, or your brain, and examine. I can't do that, can I? It's your thinking process. You know who you are, but here.
Maybe I don't discover myself.
Sorry?
Maybe I don't discover.
Maybe, you see? What happened, Sunita?
So if one participant lost in a Uber and he's trying to find an office.
Uber, no. You're bullshit, that's Uber. I mean, Uber must be you.
But I think one of the ways is for us
Wait.
yeah,
We don't,
do
I
not
don't.
like
who you are.
who you are. That's
Model.
okay, your husband is clever. Yes. And because we don't want to know that,
The true
we
place.
want to discover ourselves.
It's my life. I run it the way I want it. It's my life. Isn't it?
But you don't even know that. Okay. You don't know that. That requires a hell of a lot of insight. Let me found it.
Yeah, on the way.
He didn't know how to come here. But he could have gone to Google Map, got our address, right?
They normally use Waze.
Space.
Waze don't have it.
Don't know that.
I use that come here.
Eh?
No, because raining.
Come here.
They put the wrong address lah, I think.
No, maybe raining.
Put the wrong
Anyway, she
address.
says she should be here.
They put the wrong address.
Sometimes they put there, whatever the Jalan PPTTT, maybe not come. You know?
The road here a little bit confused.
Western
Yeah,
work for Huh? No.
shouldn't be.
It's working on Central.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Central.
Sorry?
No, he said maybe the rain cannot be. The race is by satellite.
I think rail the waste by straw. Rail cannot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
rail
see,
cannot use.
you see, the thing is this, very few people discover themselves at a very young age. They pretend to be something and pretend to be something, then they get married, another pretension, another pretend, have children, and then another pretend, and then suddenly they're 60 or 50 years old. So I had enough. No? And then what happened is, the easiest way out of all this, they become a monk. Or they take sannyasi, brahmachari. This is the Indian. See, some 250 years ago, not 1,000 years ago, 250 years ago, 300 years ago, and this is a statement I'm going to make. And please don't misunderstand me, okay? Every single home, some 250 years ago in India, okay, they had a spiritual process in their home. They had. It could be the grandmother, it could be the grandfather, old people. They do that, okay? So also, the Chinese have that spiritual thing that they do in their home or in their village. The Chinese also have it. These were developed as early as Confucius time. This is not something that we talk about in the English language. Confucius say, okay, that's a Western version of Confucius. Actually, Confucius' teaching is about already some 3,000 years ago. Confucius' teaching was about how to behave in a certain way. And then you ever heard of this term called the kingdom of heaven? Even now they have the kingdom of heaven. Because Confucius was able to define that and say that he didn't know how to describe what is the universe. Okay? So then they created called the kingdom of heaven. Because today, the Western authors say, oh, the Chinese defined God already in 3,000 years ago as a single God. Heaven is God. All that is bullshit. Indians, 250 years ago, up to 250 years ago, had a spiritual process in their home.
What's the purpose of bringing? Purpose.
Discover yourself. Find yourself. You see, they use a simple terminology. Okay? It's a very simple way. They did some ritual, they sat in one corner, some idol. There were 33 million gods, I mean, it's a fact, the world knows the Indians are the one who created God, okay? They know that. 33 million, and then we stop there. Some say 36 million, some say that, okay? Some texts seem to indicate that 36 million gods, Indians. But that's what it is. Because their version of it was that everyone must decide, I think this is God. So he's creating a spiritual process with this iron, and he's doing certain things to find out himself.
What if you discover there's no God?
Sorry?
The God left you. The God left
Sorry?
you. What if you discover no God? When he said that's God, what if you discover there's no God?
No, but because that's why you find that in a tree they tie some little cloth over it, okay, or an animal, or a stone, or something, because he wants to find himself. So he used this so-called thing to find himself until the white man came and told the Indians, there's only one God. Okay? This stupid book called Bible, written some 2,000 years ago. That's God. Son of God. As if God is like a human at that time. So, and they promoted that very heavily because it's a controlling. They use it to control people. Done. Okay? And then the Indians were stupid enough, believed the British, and stopped creating more gods. I wish they didn't do that. So today we'll have 1.3 billion, 1.3 billion gods. So why not? And a few more. You decide who that God is. Nothing wrong with that. Every one of the idols that you see in Indian culture, every one of them were living beings. They lived in this world. They lived as a live person. When you go to the temple, you pray and all that, and you stone, right? Every single stone, even with the nose big and several hands, they lived before. Except the ants added on before that, after that again. But yeah. What was the purpose? The purpose was to find themselves. That's what they call this. See, give you this little example here. See, you need to find out what is life, and you need to use time. That's why you're always seeking. You seek for yourself. You need wanting. You need a place for yourself, and you need a place where no interference.
Quiet, peace.
Quiet peace. Because you need to download yourself. That's what happens. Otherwise, we'll behave like somebody else. Most of us turn out, you know, I got no school friends. You know that, okay? I got no school friend. You all have school friends, right? They influenced you. You become a little adult. Secondary school, they influence you further. Then you go to university, they influence you further. Then you go to work, the people influence you. And then your friends are like you. You try to find yourself among friends. No, the one I don't like. These three, I'm okay. You see similarity in their understanding. You need to examine that. I have no friends. When I tell people I have no friends, people think cannot be. You're lying. Okay. Nothing I can do about it. I have no friends. That's why who I am. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, before I waste some more time, I want to share this with you because this gives you some idea. Maybe you could, boss, you could probably do me a favor by switching off the light or something like it. Can I?
This one, front, right?
Huh? Well, let's see. See, wait, stop. See if it's okay. Is it can be seen now? Maybe switch off the light.
Front,
No,
lights, yeah. Front lights.
everything's gonna go south. Everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I am. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work.
Can you understand?
That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math, you solve one problem, then you solve the next one. And then the next, and if you solve enough problems, you get to come home.
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Because you grew up in a household of dysfunction, trauma, mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional abuse. Doesn't mean that that's the outcome of what your life, your career is destined to be. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. Get in shape. It's game on. It's focused. It's go season. I believe in you. I love you. It's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt it, you backed off. When I was young, I did not know who and what I wanted to be. And so I was influenced by the things that I seen with my eyes. And what I seen with my eyes is what I wanted to become. Why do you think you need to wait until you get a little older to become the things that you want to become in life? The problem is not making money. Because at some point, we're all going to make some money. The problem is, what do you do when you make your money? Eventually, we're going to get old, real old. And it's about you. It's about you. So this is what I want to leave you with. When you make the decision, and I want everybody to hear me on this, even the adults in the room, when you make the decision to do what you want to do with your life, just know this, because the family and the friends in your life do not share your vision, in most cases, they will be the first person to try and talk you out of what you want to do with your life. But know this, only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. So because they don't see what you see, doesn't mean that you're supposed to settle and not do the things that God has sent you in your mind and your spirit. Because if you don't control things, it'll control you. I am ready.
I think the greatest of people that have ever been in society, they were never versions of someone else. They were themselves. It's very tragic. People deploy in ways that don't fully tap everything they do best. You don't think about Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and say, oh, he was just like this other player. No. You don't even say he was like this player plus that player divided by 2 plus this. No. It's Michael Jordan.
Always gets worse before it gets better. It's supposed to be that way. The journey you're embarking on here with NFT 28 is not an easy path. It's not for the ill-hearted or the weak. It's for the strong people. Before you embark on this journey, mentally you have to prepare yourself for it. No one's going to get worse before it gets better. When you embark this journey, you must know that it's going to go down before it goes up. But when it comes up, it's going to go so much higher than you've ever been. Sacrificing today for tomorrow's betterment. Sharpening your arsenal for perfection of what you can be. But if you didn't know that, mentally you didn't prepare for that, you think something's wrong, it's time to stop, it's time to move for your further. You have to be equipped mentally to endure this process. Knowing what you're about to go into is step 1. Knowing it's an uphill battle, but a winnable one and one that's achievable. And at the end of this race, guys, you're going to be more capable. The first step, guys, is knowing it's a tough road. Through that effort, builds the character, the person you want to be at the end. Accept that. How else do we stay on track? We document everything. To know where we are, guys, we must first know where we've been. I am the greatest.
They were never versions of someone else. They were themselves.
Agree? Agree, yeah? Agree, right? You want to be yourself, or you want to be somebody else? Isn't it? It's not that difficult, isn't it? Like you want to know the how. You need to be given a cookbook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Okay? And then not only that, no, cook it in a pot, put it in a plate and feed you. That's what you want from me. I can't give you that. You got to discover yourself. You understand? Do you understand what I'm saying or not?
Yes.
It's important. You must discover yourself. It's easy to talk, but difficult to do. You understand this, okay? Every one of us have a life. We have time. We must seek for who we are. Sometimes it takes longer than others. I remember when I first wanted to learn how to write and read. Okay? And I used to hear people who reported to me in a way, okay? The gossiping behind me. Okay? He's going to learn how to write. He's going to learn how to read. I'm 79, I'm still around. All of them are dead and gone. Some had a miserable life. Whatever that is. One fella hanged. Have you ever been to Anderson Bridge in Singapore? You know Anderson Bridge? The first steel bridge they built. He hanged on that thing and died on a motorcycle. He drove so fast. He hit the car. And he was found hanging. Dead and gone. I nobody. Okay? Because why? Because if I had taken that into heart, I wouldn't be what I am. I tell people again and again, if you don't know yourself, there's no point in you standing up and talking to people or trying to teach people. That's why people who do seminars can't do more than 4 years, they'll die. They give up. That includes everybody that worked with me, Everybody. Because it's not easy to stand up and talk to people over and over and over again. Telling your story in a different version altogether, telling and telling. Okay? When I tell you stories, does it feel fresh enough?
Yes.
I'm telling you the stories which I started telling. I was probably 17 years old. I can't change that story. That way I deliver it may be different. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So what's so big about it? Ask somebody to do it for 32 years and see whether they can do it or not. They can't. Do you know why? They falsify their life. They're not who they are. If somebody, my family went for a wedding, and that wedding, they met someone. He said, Uncle Venga did not come. He says, no. Before my father died, my father told me a lot about how much Uncle Venga did for my father, and so on and so forth and so on. Okay? And that fella, I understand, can speak 7 languages. Read and write 7 languages, no? I don't know how old is he. Okay, this is somebody. Okay. And he said to my family, he said, if you tell the way it is, okay, the way you perceive it, you can keep on telling the story over and over again. You understand? But if you try to make up the story, then you wouldn't know what the story you said yesterday. You can change it. So my point is this, that we have the ability, we really have the ability to become who we want to be. So like that, and learn. Then of course, I went on to do something else. and I'm going to learn. I went to a place to, of course, a lot of hard work, no? It won't happen tomorrow, no? So when I went through all of that, there were a lot of people saying a lot of things. That's one of the reasons why I decided at a certain point in time, this is enough. I must leave Singapore. Finish. I must move away. Then I came to Malaysia. Okay? I was born, naturally born. So my father was born here, his father was born here, his father was born here. But 7th generation, I'm 8. Born here. I came, okay, using whatever certificates I could find to become a citizen. They turned me down. Said, you want to apply as a foreigner. So I applied. In my citizenship, you can see, as under a certain rule. Not because I was born here, my father was born here, never mind, it doesn't matter. Okay? But I changed myself. And that was the first time I called myself Venga Chu. 31st of August, 1957. Started there. Then, along the way, so many things happened. Okay? Always rediscovering myself. Always. And then, as you go along, when I was, what, 23, 22, when I said to myself, I need to write. I need to write about myself. About this thing called life and time. I need to do that. Okay? Then I told people, that, wow, here comes the writer, and here comes the philosopher and all that. So I stopped talking to people about it again. No point.
That time, do you need to learn how to read and write?
Sorry?
That time, when your time, do you need to read and write that time?
Of course, what? Okay, then you have never read my book. I started to read and write 13 years old. By the time I was 16 years old, I passed my senior
No, I
Cambridge.
said that time, do you need to read and write? Other people, they can read and write.
Not everybody can read and write, even at that time.
So it's a very niche market there.
Well, I don't know about niche market. You're using terminology which I don't understand.
No,
I say other people can do.
are you talking about writing book or?
No, it's a read and write.
You're trying to say something, but you're camouflaging it. You're not coming out and saying exactly how you want to say it.
You are pretty young at that time, probably 19.
13, right, when you learn how to write,
Yeah.
read and write.
Your question is?
That time, do you need the age? That time, do you need to learn how to read and write?
Do all the people know how to read and write? Answer is no.
Yes.
Answer is no. Very few people could read and write. Okay. My father, of course, went to Victoria Institution. So does his brother and so on and so forth. Okay. But that's a unique thing. But not everybody can read. In fact, today you will find people who were born in the 1940s, and they don't know how to read and write. Isn't it? But the point is this, okay? Thing is, as reading and writing and all that doesn't discover you. It will not. It's yourself, because this is what you are. You're born with this. You need to discover yourself. See, just now the tip said, remember? You perceive a lot of things in life. The moment you came out of your mother's womb, you are recording already. Everything that you see, you hear, you touch, you smell and taste, you record and record. All that is sitting in your brain is perception of things that you've seen, heard, touched, feel. Isn't it? The 5 senses. That's what you become. But who you are is beyond that. Why do you think that way? And that is something you must discover. You cannot prevent human beings from discovering himself or herself. This is the key to any progress in life. It is not about searching for money, having more buildings and more cars and more wives and what have you, more children. That's not what it is. You have to discover that yourself. Be yourself. It's not easy. Because everybody, everything around you wants you to be different. Isn't it? Yes or no? Everything around you wants you to be different. Yes or no? Say yes or no?
Yes.
From your father to your mother to your brother to your sister to your friends to your schoolmate. And you think they care a damn when you are struggling. Do they care? Do they ever care for you? You don't know how to lead your life. You know the marriage you had, you don't know how to take care of it. That's why it happened like that. Yes or no? Friends that go to school with you. You understand what I'm saying, you know? All of this, okay, if you really care for yourself, you should forget what people say. No one can give you good advice. Everyone will give you advice, which is free anyway. Yes, I'm giving you free advice, right? But that's no point. You've got to discover who you are. And that makes a difference. When you discover who you are and what you want to do, then nobody can stop you. Can anybody stop you? Nobody can stop you. It's a fact. This is not American bullshit, okay? This is not that. The fact that the Americans have done one thing, they have actually explored this in many, many ways and tried to make it simple. To say that you can. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. And making it simple for you to understand. But that's why discovering yourself as to who you are is important. Then you wouldn't behave like somebody else. And when you try to behave like somebody else, then you try to be somebody else, but inside you want something out of you. You understand now? You guys understand me and how? This is not ISIS information, okay? This is you. I'm talking about you. You need to discover who you are. And that makes it simple, okay? Okay, let me move on, okay? Let me move on. See this?
Oh,
Discover who you are. It is not an easy journey. It is a difficult journey. But where you start? You start in a very simple way. And this is what you do. First and foremost, try to identify. I'm putting it as simple as possible enough. See, you have a few things here, see? All sorts of things you have. No? You are fat, you are thin, okay, you are this and you are that, and somebody else will make some remarks about you. What are they? When somebody makes a remarks about you, what are they? What are they? What are they? When people say, oh, Mark, pass some remark, what are they? They are what?
Their perception about you.
No, sound.
Sound.
Sound. Don't go there. Sound comes out of their mouth. And you take the damn sound, okay, and collect it and push it inside you, and you make your own meaning. And then you become that meaning. Why should you be doing that? Have you no voice yourself? Have you nothing inside you that can tell you who you are? So, first thing to do is, what are your values? That's a starting point. See it? And you must examine that very carefully. Okay? If you go to Google and Google value, you probably probably you'll get about 1 million hit in 1 second. Just value. You sit and read it, it'll take you until you become old, you know, weird thing. Read a bit, understand it, say, okay, what is my value? First thing to do is write it down. This is my value. I actually value what I think is a value. I value this. This is who I am. This is what I am. This is my value. Your friend will tell you things that, no, you know, but then his voice, his sound must not influence you. You must influence yourself. You understand? Is that easy to do? Is it easy to do or not? Do you know why people who become monk, religious leaders, okay? Not ISIS, no? The good thing is, he quickly mentioned, he's a monk. Okay, then you know immediately he's Buddhist, right? Okay, but that's not true. Monk is any person, regardless of any religion, decides to be on his own by himself, for weeks on end, months on end, years on end, by himself. A monk. Religion is no part in him. Be himself, discovering himself. Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
I have a friend, a monk. He's not a friend. I got to know him from the monastery. And he withdraw himself from being a monk.
Yes.
Go back to as a normal guy.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome. He is me. He is me. I was supposed to become a monk, but I felt that the easiest thing for you to do would be to become a monk. Because why? People will get food for you. Okay? But a Hindu monk, as an example, will refuse to take food from anybody. Even though he may eat only 6 months once, he has to cook it himself. They can sit there and meditate without food for 6 months. 6 months, no food, no water, nothing. They sit there. They do that. And when they wake up, okay, when they wake up, they'll cook themselves and eat it. But that's a different matter. But your friend realized, I hope, his realization is, this is too easy, man. All I do is to be on myself, learn how to read and write 12 languages, write books, give some advice. It's so easy life. It's the easiest life. But then you become a householder. You get married, you got a family, then you got millions of people surround you, your relatives or some, and you got to do this, and you earn a few dollars, they want $4 from you, no? It's all like so much of pressure. If you can get out of that, you become what is known as a householder, which is difficult. Your friend did the right thing. Okay. I can tell you at least one chap you can find in the YouTube. Okay. He went to the United States when his father wanted to do a PhD. He's from India. So the father took the whole family, somebody offered a scholarship, he took to India. He did his PhD, stayed back in India. The boy grew up, okay, studied, went to Princeton. He went to Princeton University, 1 year. After that 1 year, he left. He said, this is not for me. And he was a top student. He's not a flopper, top student. Princeton talked to him. Why? He said, no, I want to go home. He went back to India and spent 11 years in a monastery, a Hindu monastery. Okay, spent 3 more years by himself. After that, he started to do some business in India. Made some money, came back to US. US citizen. Went back to the US. And then bought a business, a plastic business. Manufacturing plastic and all that. Bought a business that was bankrupt. Okay, chapter 13. He bought it. Within 6 months, turned the company around, made money. He bought it for a cheap few US dollars, and then made it so successful, he sold it. Sold, started another business. Okay? Also successful. Then he goes to exhibition and all that. He went to an exhibition and he'll go there, listen to people lecture on. By this time, he's already a millionaire, okay? He was already a millionaire. So you know what to, and he was feeling very tired. And he wanted something to pep him up because the number of seminars were quite a bit. So he was walking around with a soft drink called an energy drink, okay, without any label. So he said, "Can I have one of those?" "Yeah, sure." He gave it to him, he drank it. Free of charge, he drank it. He felt good. He lasted the entire seminar until midnight. Went back, slept, came the next day, said, "What is the formula?" So they gave it to him. Got some words there. Said, "Can you give me the rights to sell your product?" They chased him out. They said, "You are not trying for me, no? Indian fella, no? Trying to copy me or something like that." Now he didn't go to university yet. Understand? Would you call him an uneducated fella? Would you call him an uneducated fella? He felt that after the first year in Princeton, he was wasting his time in the university. Okay? Great, right? So he said, "Okay, fine, doesn't matter. I can see some names and all that." He copied it down. He said, "I'll figure out what it is." He went, spent a few weeks together, got a few people together, and then invented a drink. And the drink is called 5 Energy. Plain, simple word, 5 Energy. No need to marketing genius, no? 5 Energy. Okay? He made it and started selling it. It is a simple formula of some vitamins and some herbal thing, whatever, okay? Very clear. He marketed, he went to supermarket like Walmart. Before that was small place. First, it was his famous drugstore, in the US. US got many drugstores like that. He put it there to sell. First week sales, sold a few bottles. Second week sales, 5 times more. In 1 month, he sold 1 million drinks. In 1 month. And now we have a factory and this and that. Today the business is 2.2 billion US dollars. 5 Energy. You find it anywhere in the US. Nobody knows what the hell it is all about. People buy them and drink them. Okay, good. And it beats vitamins. Is he a billionaire? Yes. He's become so rich. Okay. He's saying, "I don't need money." And he's very arrogant. Extremely arrogant. Okay? And he says, "I don't need money, but I want to help people." So how did he help people? He get the big scientists all together, put money on them. and he invented a simple bicycle. Okay? And that bicycle, if you pedal for 1 hour, it can have electricity in your house for 1 whole day. So in the evening, a poor woman can sit down and cycle in it. The battery will keep one day of energy. Okay? You can put it up and have light the whole day.
Exercise is so good.
Yes.
2 in 1.
Okay. And that very thing, exact cost is about 248 or 49 US dollars. One of those machines. Okay? And he sells it to people at $250 US. What profit you make? 99% sales. And right now, it is the #1 product that every villager in India wants it. Every place in South America wants it. And he says, this for free. I don't want any money. I don't want your money like that. And he's gone to a next stage in life, also inventing product and selling it exactly with 1% margin. No profit. From a simple thing like measuring a heart rate, sending a satellite over, all something, Indian method. You see? He discovered himself. See? Your friend monk must be trying to do the same thing too. See? Great, isn't it? So what does it take? All it takes is to find out what's your value. That will define you. If you don't understand value, look for it. I go to the church every Friday. That's not a value. I go to the mosque, or I go to the temple. That's not a value. You must understand the difference between what you do and what your values are. You understand what I'm saying, man? Every time you overtake a car on the left, do you have the right value? Every time you overtake a car on the left, do you have the right value? Do you? Every time when people are queuing up and you bring your car on the other side and put your nose inside, value.
Dr. Venga, if that guy is driving so slow, is driving so slow and blocking you, you got no choice that you drive.
That's your value. Bakya, but that is your
What
value.
you do, you wait until he moves,
Bakya,
or you won't.
You know, I went through that, I cursed myself today, and really kicked myself for what I did. But that's what I did. I came out of my house. I came out of my house. It was raining cats and dogs. And the jam turning to Sri Patalinga was like, yesterday, no more. But I went I came from the inside lane, right? Because I always take the lane. Then I moved to the second lane. And I stayed in the second lane. And in front of me, people were going, and lorries and what have you. They go right in front of them, and their nose inside. I come. I took my time. Okay? I called her, I said, Celine, I'm going to be stuck. I said, get Sunita to do the second lane. But I was not prepared to push all that out and go in front. My bad. This is what I want you to understand again. Yes, this morning I was in a place with somebody. He was having some breakfast. I was having a little sandwich and a coffee. A man came to me, came in front, and put on his hands. A very healthy young old man. He wanted to get some money. Okay, I look at my friend, and he said no. I said no. The owner of the shop came up and told the fellow very quietly, "Would you please leave? In this place you cannot come and do this." He was very healthy. I wouldn't give him 5 cents. My God. I won't give. You ask me for charity, I won't give. Because all charity money is abused totally. I don't need it. If I want to help somebody, I will go there and help you. That's it. Okay? So it's your value. So whenever you do something, you know it is wrong, and you do it, your value is broken. That's simple as that. You guys with me? You understand? The moment we identify ourselves with Indian, Chinese, Malay, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, whatever you identify yourself, voila, your values is crooked already. It's crooked. Whenever you define, you are a female, I am a male, you identify yourself. How do you know you're a male? By your sex organ, is that what it is? You're a human. The only time the organ comes into play is a certain part of the month when everything has gone wrong and you need something. That's the time you recognize, oh, I see you are a female. The rest of the time you should be human. Isn't it? Well, you think about it, okay? Okay? So, second thing. So, on the first thing, right? See, again, you see this? You see that? We have a lot of past. We always look at the past. Because these are senses. Remember I told you? Sound comes, you make up the meaning inside here. You've been doing that all the time. Now that past will not make you grow. What you need to do, what you actually got to do every single day, is to look at what you're going to do rather than what you have done. That stops you from growing. It's a simple thing, okay? Again, see, if you stop and think about what are you good at. Many people can't even define what they are good at. But yet they can set up and talk and tell people other stories, okay? You must know what you are good at. Whatever you do, you must be good at something. And you must use that strength to build yourself. If you don't have that, again, when is the last time you sat down and then start to really come down, where your mind is not, your brain is not running around like a bloody monkey jumping from one thing to another, telling you all sorts of nonsense. When is the last time you did it? And that's what distracts. Why does this happen? It happens because we say be yourself, right? This happens because of this very simple thing. Okay? Very simple thing. Why does our brain run around in circles all the time? Running around in circles. Why? It's because of the 5 senses you have, which is your eye, your ear. You spell ear with an E, right?
E, yes.
Your nose. Huh?
Touch.
Your mouth. And what else?
Touch.
Your hands. See now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This thing gives you input all the time. It is not an input directly put to you, but you hear sound, you hear other people talk, you take that, you convert it into a message within yourself, and then you download it into yourself. You make up the meaning. It is your perception. You understand what I'm saying? Perception. Is that real? It's not real. That's what we perceive. And then we get outside of our newspaper, our television, our politician, our government, wherever you go to, they are bombarding you. Buy this, buy that, and what have you, and all the rest of it, right? All that makes you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying now? And then you become that sound, that voice, that perception. That's what you become. But in order to get out of it, the thing to do is to relax. And then one problem, the problem is we always compare ourselves with others. We never compare ourselves with ourselves. I'm better than him. I'm better than her. Am I better than myself? What was I yesterday? What am I today? See that? Therefore, the conclusion is like that again. Simple as that again. See? Personal growth is about accepting that you are going to change throughout your life. You are continuously changing, even at my age. Even at the age when you're going to die, even at that point in time, you are changing. You understand? So, constantly looking at how, then dealing with other people. Okay? Are we open to people? People say, oh, I'm honest, you know. I say the thing the way I want to say it, you know. Is that honesty? Is it? It's not. It's not. You know why? You want to show how clever you are. To be honest is to remain silent. You don't know. What you know is what you know. Remain silent. When asked upon to make a remark, give a view, then you give your view. And you say, this is my view. You don't say, this is my opinion. This is my view. Can I change my view? Of course. Can you change an opinion? Sounds so difficult. I already formed an opinion now. My view. The difference between the two. You can have a view. You don't change your view. But at the current moment, this is my view. But don't try to tell you how good I am. You're trying to show off to other people. May not necessarily be a good value. By that you put down other people. You want to be the leader. You want to get there quickly. Not necessarily. You understand what I'm saying? You try to be who you are not. Maybe by stealing ideas from other people. There are a lot of them. Okay? One. Secondly, don't compare yourself with others. You know the television ad in CNN? Apple is an apple. It is not a fork, it's not a spoon. Fake news again. An apple is an apple. Deal with facts. So, what happens? Be yourself means do not ever compare yourself with anything or anyone around you. Compare with yourself.
But for improvement, you have to compare others. Yeah.
No, never.
Not for improvement.
When you want to, if I compare myself with, say, Chandrika as an example, not Vipaki, if I compare myself with Chandrika as an example, then my limitation is set at Chandrika. I set my limit already. That's the best. But if I compare with myself, I can always go on and on and on, improving every day. And that's why I introduced this concept some 50 years ago called review. When you review yourself, you are seeking to improve yourself. I have done this today. Can I improve in what I have done? And if the answer is no, you can't, then tomorrow morning you'll be dead. You are very near to the cemetery already. But if you ask yourself, yes, I could have improved. I could have done better. You are examining yourself. But most people do not want to measure against themselves. They rather compare with somebody else. What you're comparing with is people who are not good. Therefore, you also become the same. Compare yourself with yourself, you go further and further and further. But if you need someone to compare with, the best person to compare is yourself, not to anybody else. But this is the fact. It is the most easiest thing to do. And you compare two things. One, time, utilization of time, and what did you accomplish for the day? Very simple way. Okay, that's why we say, hey, you need to find a way to do that. Okay? Again, see, this is another thing. See that? Caring about how people perceive you, what other people think of you, is one of the biggest problems. You want to take a picture, come in front of me. Don't take their backside. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? See, this is what destroys human race. Because you are very, very important to us what other people think about us? Is that important to you? Yes, of course. Isn't it? It's very important to us. Why? Because we want people to like us. Right? And I'm not asking you to be arrogant, okay? All I'm telling you is, who the hell cares what they think about you? Right? How do they know you? It is your perception. Remember, the sound comes, and then you make up the meaning inside your head, and then you form a conclusion. How right is that? How many of you have sat for exams? When the teacher marked your paper, you're not happy with it? How many of you? All of you? Or none of you? You're not happy with the result, right? Because you think the teacher's made a mistake, right? And you're 100% correct. Because depending on the teacher or the professor or whatever the bloody rubbish that is at that point in time, whether he had a scolding from his wife or husband or whatever, and marking your paper, or whatever is right is wrong. It's a perception. It is a perception. That's why the English education is lousy, no good. Okay? That's why the American came out with another system, which is ask you a question, the correct one, you pick the correct one, all of it, none of it, or two of it. That means they want you to be precise.
Theory-wise, when you ask question, you learn more. That's what the research says.
When you ask question,
you learn more.
The theoretically is correct. Theoretically is correct. When you ask a question, you're curious. But a lot of people ask questions to impress others. That's the problem. They're not inquiring. Understand? They are not, they're saying things in front of a crowd to impress, not to express. So when you start to question, is this correct? You are challenging. Suppose you say, I don't understand this. I couldn't understand this. Can you clarify this for me to understand better? You look like a fool in front of an educated crowd, you know. But I couldn't care less. I don't understand. Please tell me. And the fellow is going to take extra hard to explain. Isn't it? Correct, you know, that's why nowadays universities, no? The lectures are put on the computer. They tell you where the library is. Do your research. The professor has no time. He's got other things to do. You've got to do all the research. So you end up being alone by yourself, looking for things. They want you to explore. Understand now? So that's what it is. Perception. And then, we talked about it in the beginning. This you know. You do this for what? For other people. Like that, huh? And then, one of the things that I believe we lack, throughout this world we lack this. We are not together with very positive people. We always surround ourselves with people, I cannot do lah, no lah, I cannot lah, no lah. Everything is a no lah, no, cannot lah, difficult lah. People were negative. I hate negative people. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. You can take it or up to you, okay? Now, conclusion of this, you look at it, okay? Learn the difference. Okay, learn the difference, okay? You see this one? You read the statement, see that? Well-intended, constructive criticism. I don't believe in this. I never ever believe that someone can criticize you, to make you any better. There is no such as constructive criticism. It's a bullshit. You want to show how clever you are. Yes. how clever you are. I know my problem. As I never went to a formal school, therefore spelling becomes difficult for me. Because I did not learn originally how the sound is related to spelling. Only now I'm learning it. But I write as one of my goals to improve my spelling daily. Check it. But you know what? If one little word is wrong, there will always be people telling me, oh, your father is like that, you are like that, your mother is like that, and so on and so forth again. They are quick to point out spelling mistake. Okay? Sometimes this bloody computer spelling is spelled wrong also. See? It's because of the fact that if you don't learn it from the very beginning, how to understand English pronunciation, it goes with the spelling. It has got a certain way to do it. You know what I'm talking about, okay? Like that. But people always make fun. So what? Okay, like that. The conclusion of this is like, okay, especially dealing with other people, this is what you do. See, the best you can do for yourself. And then find those who accept and like you for who you are. In my case, I have none. Nobody likes me by myself. Even my own children don't like me. So how far can I go? That's the end of it. I am what I am. And you can say, why don't you change? No, I don't want to change. Why? Because in my thinking, okay, I am always comparing myself. It's some of the things that people hate me for. Is that I compare myself and then put another individual say, this person and me, okay, I am like this. That person is talking about him. I am forming a conclusion using my understanding and then relating to that person who's making a conclusion to somebody else. So how wrong can I be? Totally wrong. Because I expect people to be like me. So when I say to people, how come you are a manager, surely you must be thinking about how, you are saying this person is no good, but you yourself, have you thought about yourself? This is the kind of thing that comes in my head. So how long can you tolerate me? Maybe 30 seconds. You understand what I'm saying? This is me. I look at people talking, and I immediately go inside that bloody place. Oh, like that. So you must be No. We use our standard to compare other people. And our standard is either high or low, or nothing. So that's something that you must think about. Thirdly, culture. Cultivating a true self. How do you do that? There you go. See that? See, they say, treat yourself. You know this famous old biblical nonsense saying that do unto others as you want others do unto you. Biblical nonsense, supposed to be written by Jesus Christ and all of that, written by Confucius. The original text is from Confucius. Okay? 2000 years ago in India, called Valluvan, Valluvan. Long before the idea of Christianity came into being, or Judaism came into being, this fellow, as a poet, wrote this. And he wrote in very simple Tamil language, and said that you must always think of others as you. That's what he said.
How do you say that?
Like he said.
It's so difficult to say that.
That's what he said. He said, learn what you must. In English translations, learn what you must. Learn whatever you must learn. And then live your learning. He said, this is 3,000 years before the Christianity and Judaism and what have you, all the religious nonsense came out. He said, Indian fellow. Life. Not dead. Okay? So, my friend, there's nothing new. But you see, be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for yourself and always look at yourself and say, hey, I need to think differently. No? I got to think differently. No? What's wrong with you? What are you thinking like that? Okay, that's why one of the things that I did when I first came out of Singapore and wanted to live first in Malaysia, I found a location where they were not totally Indian, totally Malay, or totally Chinese. I want a mixed area to live. That's how I started off. Then, from then on, I went to Malacca. Same thing also. I want a mixed community. Okay? So I said, okay, this is good enough. Then I started traveling, and finally, in 1982, I came to Kuala Lumpur. Also, I look a mixture of community, where there are lots of different people. I want to live with them. Understand others. Okay? You understand? If they don't talk to me, it's okay. I don't know my neighbor, by the way. Even now, I do not know my neighbor. I know the one on my right is Kenny. That much I know. The one in front of me is a friend of mine who died already. His name is Naya. Okay? The other two sides, I don't know who they are. On this side, I don't know. Like that, huh? What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong, no? Sit down. Okay. Now, that's why you need to boost your self-esteem all the time. So to do that, to do that, you need to have a couple of things. See, first, you need to find out as an individual, who are you? What are you? And express that to yourself. No need to tell all your friends. That's who I am. Describe yourself. That's one way to look at it. Secondly, also, you know, we don't understand what is being unfair. Like this afterward coming here, okay? Okay? Usually I leave my house at 4 o'clock. But as the rain was getting worse and worse, I said I leave at 3:45, which I did. Okay? And I also very cautious, you know, rain like that, flooded, it's like that, drive slowly down. Get to the last lane. Now, a lot of people, they just couldn't be bothered. They come all the way and put their nose. Does it irritate me? Am I frustrated? Why should I be? If they do not know whether it's right or wrong or fair or otherwise, what is there for me to talk about it? If you don't do it yourself, correct? You know when you're fair to somebody, when you're not. You have a bloody intelligent inside you, which tells you, hey, don't do that. Tells you. And you still override and do. So because you override and do, that's what you get. What happened? We are about to close. Well, that's good. That's good, you came. Who's that? Come on. You have a company with 3 people already. Jen. Jen, yeah, sure. I know, I understand. You see, this is the key. See, we must recognize fairness and unfairness. Okay? By that I mean, it is the individual that makes the government. It is the government that makes the people. It starts at the bottom. We have learned all the bad things from the leaders, and we are behaving like that. We are no different. We are no different from them. Okay? As a fact. It's a fact. But that's what it is. All the rules and regulations that was built in this world is for only one purpose: control. Because you could control, then people try to find another way around it. That's what happens. So, cultivating the true self is not an easy thing, it's a very difficult thing. It must be done. But the starting point is, you know what's unfair. When you overtake on the left, you know it's wrong. When you speed along the highway, you know it's wrong. You know it is wrong. Yet you do it. Why? You have a good car. And I know she pays a lot of my fine. I know that. I stopped driving already. Now she doesn't see any fine. I take Uber now. Oh, no, sorry. Grab. I used to get a lot of fine. Yes. I drive a very powerful car. If it does not do 220 kilometers an hour, I'm something wrong with the car. But I know it is wrong. I did it. I have done it. But I'm 78 years old. I have never met with a single accident in my life. Never. And it won't happen today either. I will not. Nobody knocked me. I never knocked anybody. Why? Why? Because if I drive, I must be 100% conscious. Otherwise, I won't drive. This stupid thing is the cause of death. Is that the handphone, the smartphone? It's the cause of death. A lot of people die because of this. I see motorcycle today raining like that. Some who helmet and all that. Okay. So, hey, see, do not follow other people's style, follow your own. You will develop your own. And then in conclusion, see, compare yourself. Okay? Compare yourself with yourself, not someone else. And then motivate yourself to become better. That is what we call self-motivation. People think I do this every month for 32 years to motivate people. Do you feel motivated when you come here? Do you? Do you get motivated when you come here? Yes, sir. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Actually, you should take examples of what I say and do it. That's not motivation. I'm not teaching you how to walk over fire. No? I'm just telling you, examine yourself, examine yourself, examine yourself. All I'm telling you again and again, examine yourself, examine, and then you get there. That's what I say. So in conclusion, see that? See that? You wake up to who you are. And then, if you want to wake up to realize who you are, you must of course let go. Let go something who you want to imagine to be. Many people see the actor in the movie and they also want to be like that. Singer, this, that, the other. Film star, actresses, models, they want to be like that. No need. You are who you are. As long as you can do that over and over and over again, you realize that I am great potential. See, one of the things, I tell you this, and many of you have heard me talk about this, there are 4 things now. See, the damn white man said this, mind. And then he did not explain the mind. Okay? They do not explain the mind. Until recently, in the last 10 years or so, okay, one Indian fellow, his name is called Sadhguru. His name is Sadhguru. Okay? He has been traveling all around the world, including Lebanon, Syria, Aleppo, the city that destroyed totally, America, Europe, Singapore, Malaysia, Burma, Thailand, all that again. I have not heard him go to China yet, but he'll probably go there. He has been promoting and talking about this thing called yoga. which has become a national day throughout the world. It's yoga. What is that? See, that's why he's the one who's able to tell the white fellas what you're thinking is wrong. But he says it in a very nice way. See, this mind of ours consists of 4 things. 3 things which you are very familiar with, which is the intellect, which you have, which is the thing that dissects everything. That's one, intellect. In Tamil, it's called mukti. The second one is what is called identity. Identify. I am a Teochew, Hokkien, Chinese. Identify. I'm a Malaysian, Malay, Muslim. Identify. I am an Indian, born here, but I come from India. Identify. Identity. I live in this house. This is my location. I bought where we put ourselves in a container, in a box. Identity. We don't treat it. You are a human. I am a human. Wow, nice to meet you, human. No, you are Chinese. I am Indian. We do that. Identity. The third thing is memory. Third thing, memory. Nowhere in these 4 things did they talk about intelligence. So memory is what you have collected through your 5 senses. That's the thing that you must understand. 5 senses gives you memory. Identity you create. Okay? This is intellect, is dissection. It dissects everything. That's what it does. Through the 5 senses. The last one that you have checked, right, is what you call intelligence. Intelligence. That intelligence is pure. It's there inside you. When you review, when you do your review and do deep enough, you go down there. And then you find that you're far more intelligent than what you think you are doing. The review part. You can't solve any problem. Intelligence is there, sitting there. So we are not using our intelligence. Once in a while, accidentally you touch intelligence. But intelligence is so clever, it sits there. It does work for you. Do you get up in the morning and say, go to the toilet? Do you say that? You say that. No, you don't. Automatically. Your kidney is working. Every bloody thing inside you working well enough. Yes or no? How does that happen? Intelligence, uncle. Okay, you eat the wrong thing, vomit out. Intelligence is there. But I don't want to help you. Because what? Your 5 senses already determined already. It's there. You do the work like I keep quiet by myself. It's called chitta, intelligence. Chitta. It's intelligence. That's sitting there. It never help you. Because you never asked for. You never came out to ask, hey, how do I solve this problem? So first all the 5 said, cannot solve, I cannot solve. Why? Last time no one can solve. 25 years old, nobody else can solve. Disappear. So you sit quietly, all alone, do a review. What have I done? What have I done right? Close your eyes. And then the intelligence. And I will shoot one thing out. Okay. It is there. Because this intelligence came to you the day you went into your mother's stomach. Intelligence came to you. And then it is the one that created this human body. Your brain was completely developed 44 days after in your mother's womb. It is that intelligence that built it. It's there, sitting there, doing what is necessary to be done. That's why they say, heal thy own self. You can do that yourself. Simple uncle. You take a knife and cut yourself. Blood come out. Yes or no? Yes. Then you leave it there. Will it dry? Will it dry? It will dry. How come? Intelligence was. So immediately the cell will come up and close the gap. Very soon. No need to fight the group around it. Do you eat banana? You eat the banana, 90 days, you become human, right? Yes or not? Yes or not? I eat a banana, I become Venga. You become somebody else, right? A dog eat a banana, what happens? It becomes a dog. Intelligence for dog. Isn't it? Think about it. Okay? So this intelligence have to be activated, and you can only activate that through your video. You ask my people to do it, they vomit blood. They're very difficult, Venga. Okay. So I want to tell you. So that's how you say you must let go. Okay. Now in conclusion, it's like, okay, see this? Only when you let go your way of thinking will this happen. See that? See this? See that? These are indicators that you are connected with your true nature. Only then, voila, get the intelligence. Alright? Yourself. Alright? Understand? Understand?
Yes.
Did you understand?
Let me tell you.
Easy to understand? Easy or not? Go do something about it now. Oh? See, again, what I try to do to you is to make you realize, okay, how can I improve myself? That's it. Because why? I am coming from a background with no school, no education, nothing of that sort. I come to here. So I'm not showing you some bloody bullshit story. No? I am what I am. You can be what you want to be. It's all up to you. But if you want to behave like yesterday and day after tomorrow and all that, you will be like that. So what's the difference? What's the difference between me, you, and the rest of the world? People are poor because they want to be poor, not because circumstances put them there. Because you want to cling on to what everybody is doing, you want to be poor. You are poor because you want to be poor, that's why you're poor. By poor, I don't mean money, No education now, my mother was a drunk, my father was a drug addict, my uncle was a murderer. And you go on, tell the story, I was like that. Nothing to do with that. You can be whoever you want to be. But it's harder. It's tough. It's got to be done daily, every day. Okay, 8 o'clock. Thank you for coming. Even though you came late. Yeah, but this session here, okay, tell cantilever to come. Use the whip and whip them to come here. Huh? Come. Because we do it every month. If you can't come to the Bukit Bintang month, in Amoda building, come here. But different subject. Huh?
Going there.
Going there is easier.
Yes, very good. I come out at the wrong time.
Okay. You want to come here?
I have to
You must leave your office about 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock you must leave.
That's all right.
With the other one, you can leave, I think 5 o'clock also can. Also can. 5:30 cannot. It'll be late. And the whole place will be full of people.
That's all.
Okay? Happy Chinese New Year. Long Yi Fa Choi. Have fun. I see you in February. The last day. Better than?
Yes.
Alright guys. I'm coming to the office tomorrow. To see my 1:30.
Regarding martial arts training.
No, something else. Go home. Unless of course you have a question to ask. You work for cantilever too? Is that your wife?
No.
Okay. Cantilever too? Were you there that day on Saturday?
No.
Both of you were